Hello friends. I actually filmed this video back in August or September this year, and I just never edited it and put it up. So I kind of thought that this would be a good time to put it onto the channel for you all. This is an experiment with some alpaca fiber that I got quite a while ago. I'll explain more about it, and I take you from start to finish with the raw floof all the way to the spun yarn, and it was really fun, so I hope you enjoy it. Hello friends. So I thought that I would film a little bit of an experiment that I am doing. Several years ago, my mother-in-law got me an alpaca for my Christmas present. She got me an alpaca. Basically, it's a farm a few states away that offers for you to adopt one of their alpacas for a year. It's kind of like a sponsorship, I guess. And with that, you get like emails from your alpaca with like updates on what they've been up to lately and how they're doing. And also, this is real cute. And also it's shearing season in the spring. They give you the fleece, and you can go to the farm and do shearing with them and everything. It's really, really cool. If I can find out the name of the farm, I'll put that in the description below. I'll see if I can find out, because it was a few years ago. But I'd actually love to do it again. It was a good experience. So I have this big alpaca blanket that is raw, that has been sitting in a closet for the last couple of years, and that was not ideal. I should not have done that. I should have processed it immediately, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I'll show you guys that in a second. But what I wanted to try to do is use just a little sample of that floof to go through the process of processing it. And so I'm gonna scour it. I guess it's not like a true scour because it doesn't have lanolin, because it's alpaca, but I'll wash it, rinse it, dry it, do all of that kind of stuff, spin it up, just to kind of get a feel for it and make sure I'm not gonna mess everything up when I get to doing the big fleece. Yeah, and so as I was doing that last night and getting that all together and started, it occurred to me like, oh, I could film this and share this with you guys. And if you guys have feedback or ideas or anything, or resources, or if you're knowledgeable about this or you know someone who is, please let me know, because yeah, in the future I want to have my own alpacas and make a lot of alpaca yarn and process a lot of alpaca fiber. So I want to make sure I'm doing that well, and yeah, not messing it all up. So yeah, I will take you guys along this journey with me. This is just a little sample, and I'll probably do a video when I do the whole blanket as well later. But for right now, it's just a little sample. So let's get started. I wish I had a better way to film this to show you the bag of fiber, but this is really the best option that I've got as far as lighting and angled stuff. This is the bag of alpaca floof that I have. Yeah, his name was Bart, and he was my alpaca that I adopted, basically sponsored for a year. And yeah, so this is all raw, the raw blanket, and yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to process it so that when I get to processing all of this guy, I won't completely mess it all up. So that's kind of what my experiment is. He was a pretty young alpaca. I think he was 2, maybe 3 years old. So this stuff is really, really soft. We got to choose which alpaca I was sponsored. So I just chose the youngest available because I wanted soft. I knew I wouldn't get a cria. So I knew I wouldn't get baby alpaca fleece, but I wanted something that would be very soft and floofy, and this is super soft and floofy. So I love it. It's still in great condition. I didn't really know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing when I first became the owner of this floof. So it has been sitting raw in the bag for the last couple of years, which usually you wouldn't want to do, so that in case there's stuff in it that makes it mildew, or if creatures make nests in it or whatever. So I'm very fortunate. I've looked over it a little bit, and it doesn't look like it has mildewed. It doesn't look like creatures have really gotten into it. I might find out something made a home in it when I really take the whole thing apart, but just kind of gently going through it just a tiny bit, it looks okay. So I am very grateful that I didn't just totally ruin this amazing, amazing blanket by my ignorance and negligence. I won't make that mistake again. So yeah, I have so much floof to process. Yeah, I've got a lot of floof to process, which I'm not gonna do immediately. But yeah, I'm getting a little practice with my sample so that when I do process it, I'll be doing it at least a little bit more responsibly. And if any of you guys have resources or knowledge of your own to impart to me so that I do a good job with this, I am all ears. I really do want to make sure I'm doing a good job. I don't want to take this fiber for granted. I don't want to mess it up in any kind of way. I really want to do a good job with it. So yeah, let's get testing. So I took my little sample of raw alpaca. I think it's raw alpaca. There's a lot of debris in it. It might be washed, but just not carded or combed. But anyway, I'm scouring it. And I have it in this little rabbit dish full of hot water and unicorn wash because I don't have unicorn power scour. This is the wash that I'm using. It's the unicorn fiber wash. Yeah, online I saw that people used Dawn to wash alpaca fleece as well. So I figure if Dawn works, this will probably work well too. And my sources online said to let it soak for 20 to 30 minutes. So we've got another 16 minutes left. I am doing 20 minutes-ish, 20 to 25 minutes because I started the timer after it had been in there for a few minutes. And then I will transfer it to some warm, clean water to rinse it. I'm gonna ignore my messy sink. I'm also baking cookies at the same time. So it looks like I don't think it was scoured because look how dirty this water is after. Hi, Mr. Opie. He says, I'd like to eat your hand, Mom. Sorry if that was disorienting. I hope it wasn't. This is, yeah, pretty dirty water. That's after one soak. So I have transferred it to this clean water and you can kind of see all the debris that's still in there. And again, I don't have any combs or carders or anything. Sorry for the jostling. They are actively fighting while I do this. You can hear them. They're play fighting. Yeah, so I don't have any way to get that debris out other than try to pick it out with my fingers. I do have some carding cloth, so maybe I'll try that and we'll see. But I think I'm probably just gonna spin this like it is, even though it's probably not perfectly clean. It's pretty close. It's just a sample I'm doing. And we'll see what it is like, and that'll help me determine if I want to wash future batches when I process all of this. Oh my gosh. Okay, I had to pause for a second because they were getting too rambunctious. This will help me determine if I want to do the future processing of the whole thing. I think they said it was a blanket. So if I want to process the whole thing by washing it twice and rinsing it twice, then yeah, I think this will help me determine that. If this water comes away clean, I think that's probably a pretty good indicator of whether it needs to be washed again or if it's okay. But yeah. Okay, this is rinse number 2 because I was not convinced it was soap free after the first one when I squeezed it to get the water out of it. It seemed pretty soapy and sudsy still, so I decided to do a second rinse. Also, I did dishes in the meantime. It seemed better after that second rinse. So this is my attempt at laying it out flat to dry. This is just a dirty, well, it's clean. It's a cleaning cloth, so it looks dirty. It's just stained. It is clean though. And you can see the debris in the fiber, all in the fiber. So I'm gonna see what I can do maybe with my carding cloth that I bought for making my blending board, maybe I could do like hairbrushes or combs, like just normal hairbrushes or combs. But I'm gonna see what I can do about getting the debris out of this, because there's quite a bit. A lot came out in the water, but it's still holding on to quite a bit of debris. So it's wonderfully floofy though, like it's super soft. I don't know what part of the fleece this is, but it's like crazy soft. So I hope I didn't get one of the very best bits for my test, but I don't know. We'll see. As long as I don't destroy it, it doesn't matter too much. But I don't think I felted anything. I think everything seems okay. So we'll see how it does. I think I'm gonna leave it overnight to dry, and hopefully it'll be dry in the morning. And here's our nicely dried floof. It is super soft and fluffy, and see if I can get some of the debris out of it, but it's much less obvious when it's dry. So I don't know if some of the debris might naturally fall out while I'm spinning it, but we'll see. I'm gonna look around for some combs or brushes in the bathroom to see if there's anything I could use to kind of help knock some of the debris out of it. So this comb was the best option that I found for combing out this fluff. Here's all the debris that came out with the combing of it. So I'd say that that worked pretty well. I also picked out little tiny bits just with my hands here and there, like this little guy. Doesn't much to come out, so I'll get him maybe as I'm spinning if I can't get him out in the next few seconds. Yeah, so I think that worked pretty well. I just grabbed my fluff and I just kind of floofed it on the comb several times to kind of knock stuff loose, and it is pretty fluffy and clean now. So I'm gonna try just spinning it from this cloud, I think. All right, so here's my single. You can kind of see the little guard hairs. At least those are what I think are like the little guard hairs. Pretty sure alpacas have guard hairs. You know, don't quote me on these things. I'm really not an expert, but I think that's what those little hairs sticking up are. Yeah, so this is the single. This was difficult to spin from a cloud. I would definitely want to card or, yeah, prep these in some more organized fashion in the future. But yeah, I think I'm gonna chain ply this because that's my preferred method. So I'll see how this chain plies up, and yeah, it was so soft. I've never had such a tiny bobbin. That was really hard to spin. That was my first time spinning from a cloud. That was my first time spinning alpaca. That was difficult. This is not a very good yarn, even though the fiber itself is lovely and soft and beautiful. I did not do it justice, but that's why I only got a tiny sample. All right, so I got my not ideally spun yarn off of the bobbin, and this is what it looks like. It is very inconsistent, as you can see, but that's fine. This is all an experiment. I think I'm going to get this washed up, and we'll see what it looks like in the morning. Hopefully it'll be mostly dry by the morning, since it's not a very large amount of fiber. Yeah. And just for fun, let's see how much this tiny guy weighs. 2.3 grams. So small and cute. It's in its tiny, tiny bath. So adorable. This is a little ramekin. So cute. This is not completely dry yet, but it's mostly dry. It's almost completely dry. Yeah, it is super, super silky and very drapey, and just a very beautiful fiber, even though you can tell that this was my first time spinning it and that I am not an expert spinner. But yeah, it was beautiful. I'm really looking forward to processing the rest of the blanket and spinning up. Look at that luster. It has like this beautiful like sheen. That's so gorgeous. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to hopefully one day doing this fiber justice. But it was a fun experiment. That yarn turned out a little bit better. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that, friends. And particularly, did you enjoy seeing Obi when he was still really small? He's so big now. He's so much bigger than Nolly. By quite a lot, by like 40, close to 50 pounds now. He's bigger than Nolly. So that was fun for me to go back and see baby Obi. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that. Comment below if you've got any feedback on alpaca fiber, any kind of experience you've had with processing it or spinning it or working with it. I'd love to hear any kind of feedback or comments you guys have, or if you've got any questions. Yeah, or just general chatter. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.